Hello, everyone. It is 11:30 Central, so we will get started. Thank you for tuning in to today's presentation, Mastering Health Science Foundational Skills with Hands-on Learning Aids. My name is Kelsey, and I will be your moderator for today's presentation. First, here is your 30-second intro to Realityworks for those of you who aren't familiar with us. We are an employee-owned company based in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, that creates experiential learning tools for teaching job and life skills. We got our start over 20 years ago when former NASA engineer Rick Germain created the first RealCare baby infant simulator, and then went on to found the company that is now Realityworks. Today, our training tools combine curriculum, hands-on learning tools, student activities, and assessments. Baby is still around, but now you can look to us for tools like our bovine birthing and ultrasound simulator, virtual welding simulator, wearable geriatric sensitivity suits, and if you have some time, we encourage you to check out our website and see it all. Presenting today, we have Emily Kuhn, who is the Senior Campaign Specialist here at Realityworks. She collaborates with educators and administrators to understand how they are implementing Realityworks products and programs into their schools. Over time, those educators have also shared great tips on teaching soft skills in their classroom. Emily is a frequent presenter on topics regarding soft skills and student engagement at education conferences, webinars, and professional development. Before we get started, I want to cover a couple things. First, today's presentation has been pre-recorded, and all attendees will receive a link containing the recording, as well as a copy of the PowerPoint slides and free resources. For those of you attending live today, you'll also receive a certificate of completion for attending today's presentation. Keep an eye on your email. You will receive that email within 24 hours after the presentation. We will have time at the end for Q&A, so feel free to type your questions in the chat or Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass things over to Emily.
Well, thanks for that introduction, Kelsey. Let's get started. We are going to dive right into our foundational health science tools. First up is our medical terminology class kit. This kit is a fantastic way to engage your students in what can often be considered a less than exciting topic. It includes color-coded blocks for prefixes, suffixes, root words, and connecting vowels. In fact, just one set, students can create over 800 words. Now, 20 student glossaries are also included that follow the curriculum outline. This allows students to create their own medical terminology dictionary for ongoing reference. Additional glossaries can be purchased as needed, and the online curriculum is quite robust. Let's take a closer look at that. This is an overview of the 17 lessons included in our medical terminology class kit curriculum. The initial lessons focus on understanding word parts, while subsequent lessons are categorized by body system. And this organization works well because it helps students recognize connections between root words and body systems, which improves their ability to decipher those medical terms. Now, this kit does include various assessments. Some are knowledge-based quizzes, while others are practice-based skill demonstrations. We like variation like that because it keeps things engaging. It keeps it comprehensive for students. So here are some ideas for implementing this kit into your classroom. You can use it, of course, in a standalone medical terminology course. You can revisit lessons when teaching specific body systems because, of course, repetition always reinforces learning. You can also divide your classroom into small groups and introduce some friendly competitions, like who can create the most words in 10 minutes, or who can write the correct definitions for their words. As we all know, a little competition can significantly boost engagement. Next up is our medical math training kit. This kit includes 20 student workbooks, plus a spiral-bound curriculum and online presentations. The curriculum begins with foundational skills like fractions, decimals, and percentages, and then progresses to more complex concepts like medication dosage and infusion calculations. As you can see from the curriculum, it does include 7 lessons that, again, start with those more simplistic concepts and slowly adds more complicated knowledge and concepts so your students can really build up to those foundational medical math skills that they'll need in the real world. Here's an example of a student activity from the first lesson. It provides step-by-step instructions which helps to build confidence before moving on to those assessments. And what's great about this program is that it assumes no prior knowledge, putting all students on an even playing field. Now, you do have a ton of flexibility with how you integrate this program into your classroom. And that's because the curriculum is available in both physical and online formats with completely identical content. So you can decide what your students complete independently versus what you cover in class. For example, foundational lessons could be assigned as homework, or you can use class time to address gaps in basic math skills. If you're intrigued at all by this kit, you can actually try the online lessons for free. Just visit our website on the link on your screen, which we'll share after this presentation as well. And you can take a peek at a single lesson plus the instructor guide and the activities included. Now let's take a look at our healthcare interpersonal skills program. This program includes physical and online curriculum components plus 10 sets of 22 scenario cards. We're going to talk a lot about scenario cards over the next couple of slides because we pair them with many of our foundational kits. They're such great activities to reinforce basic concepts. So for this particular kit, Healthcare Interpersonal Skills, of course, covers skills that are crucial for any healthcare career and benefit students across all specialties. You can see that the 11 lessons cover a variety of healthcare interpersonal skills. In fact, this program is almost like two programs in one. The first 10 topics you see listed here are covered in the spiral-bound curriculum and student workbooks, but that last topic, empathy, actually has 8 online lessons devoted to that one topic. We did this because we really believe that empathy is one of the most vital skills for anyone involved in direct patient care to possess, and spending extra time and effort in this topic area can be extremely effective in creating caregivers that, well, we all want taking care of our family members and us in the future. So on your screen now is an example of one of those scenario cards. These are ideal for all sorts of activities: small group discussions, large group discussions, writing assignments, think, pair, share activities. You can introduce one soft skills topic each week as you have time, layering it on top of your regular course content, or you can devote an entire class period to all of these scenario cards. Use these as you see fit. They're incredibly flexible, and they come with the scenario, the points of view to consider, and suggested key questions so your students know exactly what to ask one another as they're partnering up and using these. Another program we recommend for teaching foundational skills is our Ethical and Legal Issues in Healthcare program. This resource provides students with an awesome, solid foundation to navigate real-world situations they'll encounter in their careers. You can see from the 10 lessons that there is a breadth of content. The topics are rich and deep and lead to great conversations, many of which students maybe would never imagine having with patients, families, or their fellow healthcare providers. But the lessons are written in a way that truly the students will soon recognize how important the information is and how deeply these topics will affect how they deal with certain situations when they start their professional practice. This is another example of an assessment that's included for one of the topics in the curriculum. And this is from that first lesson, Legal Responsibilities and Implications. All of these post assessments give you great insight into understanding which topics your students really understand and which topics might need a little more time and attention. Similar to other products that include scenario cards, there are so many different ways you can incorporate the use of this program and the cards in your classroom. The cards in particular really give students the opportunity to start practicing using their voice in a professional manner. Now, undoubtedly, there will be differing opinions and thoughts with these topics, so we encourage you to give your students an opportunity to practice what to do when confronted. Try different scenarios, try different responses, and then debrief. Talk amongst each other, talk in a large group setting about how they felt when they were communicating a certain way or reacting to a certain scenario. Next up is our soft skills program for caring for patients with intellectual disabilities, mental illness, or PTSD. It's a mouthful, but it's a good one. This is a great program to help students gain exposure to situations that can be extremely challenging in real life, especially if they've never seen or heard it before. The MP3ers provide audio tracks for dementia and audio hallucinations, which create experiences that really help students gain empathy for their patients who have these diagnoses. In fact, this can help them work through how they might alter their normal way of providing care for this specific community, how they might react, and just prepare them in general to encounter these kinds of situations. It also includes 4 sets of those scenario cards. I told you we love them, plus student workbooks. Now, there are 10 lesson topics in this curriculum. Again, they're rich, they're deep, and they lead to great conversations. Students start by defining intellectual disabilities and mental illnesses, and then dive right into strategies for caring for patients from these special populations. Here is an example of a summative activity for students to work through at the end of a lesson. Again, these are real examples of having lifelike situations to work through that aren't black and white, but they're written in a way that are realistic and true to the challenges that students might actually experience in the workplace. So again, completing these activities and having that safe in-class space to discuss alternatives is super important to student growth. So like the other programs we've shown you, we recommend dedicating time in class to going through these activities in partners, in pairs, or in entire classroom settings, and giving your students plenty of time to share ideas and talk out loud to each other about how they might handle certain situations and why or why not those are the best ideas. So again, scenario cards, you're noticing a theme here. Use them in one-on-one groups, use them in small groups or large group discussion activities. These make great writing assignments if you want your students to also practice that very important soft skill of written communication. You can assign scenario cards as writing activities as well. You can have them do them online or in person. And of course, students can use the accompanying workbooks to pre-brief and debrief, take notes, and more. So next, let's take a peek at our AED trainer. This is, of course, a very important foundational skill. This trainer is designed to provide a safe alternative for learning those life-saving procedures. With this trainer, there is no actual defibrillation delivered through the trainer, so students can practice with the pre-programmed scenarios to learn the psychomotor skills needed to be effective in emergency situations. This trainer is appropriate for practice with adult and pediatric scenarios as well, so you can really prepare your students for the real world. There is one lesson of curriculum with this product titled Cardiac Arrest Management and AED. It's pretty simple, but it covers all of those great basics. And like our other tools, this AED trainer does include a post-test. This portion of content is easily integrated in your curriculum, and it unites into your curriculum units, including CPR, use of a bag valve mask, and it covers emergency airways. Next up is our BVM ventilation trainer. This trainer is designed to show students how to effectively give rescue breaths using a mask in emergency situations. This trainer gives immediate feedback about the volume of air being supplied to the lungs, as well as the rate of breaths being given. So students can practice independently and get the information they need to gain competence and confidence, or they can practice in groups or in front of their instructor. This trainer is another component of your emergency training for students that's just ideal. Exposing them to those emergency situations, many of which are included in the curriculum, is so important so that when the real thing is happening, they can rely on that muscle memory they get from practicing on trainers like ours. The 3 lessons in this particular curriculum include the purpose and parts of a bag valve mask. Students also learn about the correct use of a bag valve mask, and then how to troubleshoot common problems. Finally, our infant health and safety pack is a set of 2 babies, our choking baby and our infant CPR baby, plus 27 scenario cards, curriculum, student workbooks, and 2 posters. What we've done is bundle 2 awesome infant trainers for those health and safety skills, and then we've given you all the resources you need to teach robust lessons on infant health and safety. The curriculum that comes with this package is split into 2 different topics. The first 4 lessons cover airway obstruction, and the final 4 lessons cover infant CPR. And like all of our tools, of course, it includes assessments that are more of those skills checkoffs. You can see that there is a great amount of detail and information, so students and teachers both know what's being assessed. This is really important because it removes the mystery involved with skills evaluations and can help ease the students' anxiety because they know exactly what is being looked for. So these last three products, our BVM ventilation trainer, our infant health and safety pack, and our AED trainer, are all great choices for inclusion in coursework that deals with emergency situations. You could set up all three products around your classroom and have students rotate through each one, have them practice giving feedback to each other using those skills checkoff sheets, have them practice giving feedback to you, use scenario-based learning, use role playing to make these scenarios as realistic as possible, and then just repeat, right? Make sure that they have plenty of opportunities to develop that muscle memory and those reactionary skills so that they're really used to pivoting and responding in the right moment in the real world. Our last product that we're going to talk about today is our blood pressure simulator. This is awesome because this can be used on standardized patients, mannequins, or students completely safely because students can practice over and over again. With a normal blood pressure cuff, of course, students are limited on how many times they can practice on one another because of the pressure on their arms when inflating the cuff so often. But we've enhanced the cuff on this product so it does not actually inflate. Therefore, there is no limit to how much your students can practice. What's even better is that the electronics box gives students feedback at the touch of a button so they can check to see if their reading matches what it should be. There's also an indicator on the screen that lets students know if they're releasing air from the cuff too quickly, too slowly, or just right. This curriculum is very straightforward, working through the procedures in a clear, concise way. And this example on your screen is one of our skills checkoff sheets that you can use as the instructor when evaluating students. So how might you use our blood pressure simulator in your classroom? Well, we suggest using it with standardized patients, of course, students or mannequins. Again, that variety is key to creating a variety of different scenarios. Instructors, you can play the core cough sounds through a headset for yourselves or through a speaker for the whole class to hear if you want to do any sort of demonstration. This simulator is great for career exploration or a vital signs lab day if you want to set up an opportunity for your students to practice gathering all of their vital signs data with blood pressure being one station. And if you're looking into this more, we do recommend 5 simulators for a 20-student classroom. This gives an ideal balance for plenty of student interaction with this tool. And with that, we have covered all of our core foundational tools for teaching those basic health science skills. Thank you again so much for joining today's webinar. We hope that these tools and tips inspire you to integrate hands-on learning into your health science classroom. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about any of the tools that we shared in this presentation, or if you'd like to request a free personalized quote, give that QR code on your screen a quick scan. We'll connect you with your local Realityworks account manager, where you can have a conversation, connect about your unique program, ask questions, and more. Thank you again so much for joining our presentation. Now we will turn it over to Kelsey to see if there are any questions in our chat or Q&A session from our attendees today.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Emily. So just a couple questions here that came in. So first off, do any of these packages or products come in packages? So we do actually have a health science career exploration package available. Otherwise, you can reach out to your local account rep and they can help you create your own custom package with kind of whatever products you are looking for. So if that's something you're interested in, encourage you to reach out and we can help you with that. And then another question that we had here is, can the BVM trainer be used with middle school students? Yes, this one's a great tool for middle school career exploration in health science or sports medicine. We recommend about 1 trainer for a 20-student classroom to use. So yeah, definitely a great one that you can use with those middle schoolers. Perfect. Awesome. Well, I don't see any other questions at this time. So thank you so much for taking a part of your day and spending it with us. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.